Next, Pastor Bobby Mitchell. Welcome to committee. Please proceed.
All right, Chairman Lips, Vice Chair Holmes, Ranking Member Russo, and members of the House Health Committee, thank you for the opportunity to provide proponent testimony on House Bill 248. I have amended my testimony to speed things up in respect of your time. I am a retired Air Force veteran, husband, father, and pastor of Canal Winchester's Father's House International Church. The COVID-19 pandemic impacted our nation in ways we never imagined. Schools closed, businesses were ordered shut, and life as we knew it had changed. But the spirit of the great Buckeye State showed itself true. As founder of Southeastern Ohio's largest drive-through food pantry, the Father's Kitchen, I launched right into action and took every recommended safety precaution to ensure we were in compliance with health and safety standards. I am also the father of three beautiful children, all of whom have been fully immunized. So I am not what we now colloquially refer to as an anti-vaxxer. I support the U.S. Supreme Court's decision, Jacob versus Massachusetts, decision that confirmed the state's right to protect itself against an epidemic of disease which threatens the safety of its members. What I also support is extending religious and natural immunity vaccine exemptions that exist for children to adults as well, and even more so as it relates to COVID vaccines that are still under emergency use. At the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, religious institutions were systematically targeted and later vindicated by the Supreme Court, who, when ruling against New York's haphazardly imposed rules, said this: "They are far more restrictive than any COVID-related regulations that have previously come before the court, much tighter than those adopted by many other jurisdictions hard hit by the pandemic, and far more severe than has been shown to be required to prevent the spread of the virus at the applicant's services. Without protections in place, our state runs the risk of being another New York." HHS has studied the concept of conscientious objection and found that by having the proper structures in place, the threat to the public health is severely minimized. Most citizens frequently consult with their physicians and healthcare professionals on decisions regarding vaccination and other medical procedures. And there is no reason to believe that they would not continue to do so regarding COVID-19 or any other vaccine that may be strongly encouraged. HB 248 does not prevent any public health agency or physician from encouraging or providing plenty of educational resources of counseling on the risks and benefits of vaccination. The state of Ohio should not be opposed to allowing citizens to object to vaccination on religious and natural immunity grounds. The founding of this nation rests on the ability to exercise freedom of religious beliefs, and respecting these objections do not threaten public health. While respecting religious and natural immunity objections are extremely important, I did want to highlight other aspects of HB 248 that equally deserve your support. This bill ensures discrimination against the unvaccinated is not enshrined in law. This bill protects business owners that follow the law. This bill protects public disclosure and request of a person's vaccines status. It prohibits that. This bill also requires schools to notify parents of existing school mandates and any laws providing exemptions. And in closing, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine used lab-grown fetal cell lines from cell cultures that were taken from aborted babies back in the 70s and 80s. Surely this committee can see how a reasonable person would not want to inject themselves with that on both a moral and a religious objection. Many Christian, Jews, Muslims, and other religions strongly believe that the immune system that God has given them is better than injecting themselves with any man-made product. And that belief should also be respected in America. In spite of just how partisan our politics have become, here's an opportunity for this body to show that Ohio really does know how to move forward together. This can be done, and I encourage each of you to preserve our liberties and vote yes on HB 248.
Pastor, thank you very much for being with us. Where do you live?
I live in Canal, Winchester.
What county is that?
It's Fairfield County.
I'm willing at this point to extend you an offer to move to Warren County. I think that was pretty good. I like a lot of what you've done in your life. I like a lot of what you said, and I think you can make Warren County better.
Yes, sir.
So
Thank you.
let's just meet later and strike a deal.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Committee, questions? Representative Gross.
Chairman Lips, to Pastor, thank you so much for being here. In your consultation with your congregation, have you had questions regarding what should I do? How do you feel about this? I'm being threatened at my job, and as a counsel, and one that I hold very dear, as I have several pastors in my life that I consult with. Can you talk to me about some of the challenges that your congregation has faced, whether it be at work, childcare, school, sports, anything that you have counseled?
Well, we took over Rod Parsley's home church, and so we have several hundred members that attend our church now, and it's actually grown since the pandemic because one of the things I didn't require people to wear a mask. And I let people make their own health decisions. And they knew they could, if you wore a mask, you'd still get a hug from me. If you didn't wear a mask, you got a hug. And so I think people like the freedom of choice to be able to decide what's best for their families. And I definitely respect that. And they wanted social distance, they could social distance. But one of the things is that some of the people have gotten the vaccine. And we love them for their decision. And some people have said there's no way that I'm getting the vaccine, and we love them for their decisions. And so a lot of people have been pressured, and they told me how they feel pressured. But I own a car dealership, a daycare center, I own a real estate investment company, and I don't force anybody to be vaccinated. I don't force anyone to wear a mask. And prayerfully, out of the hundreds of members that we've had, many have had COVID, but nobody has died. Their immune system brought them back. At the car dealership, many of our clients have had COVID, but nobody has died that I have worked with. And usually I'm interacting with literally over a course of a year, thousands of people from the food pantry to some of the things that we do. And everyone has made their own decisions. And even before the vaccine came out, no one passed away. So I've seen, to answer your question, I've seen people make decisions based upon their jobs of what's best for their family. And whatever decision they make, they have my 100% support.
Thank you.
Committee, additional questions? Thank you, Pastor. I found your comments to be a negotiating tool on my offer to move to Warren County. You told me you own a food pantry, a car dealership, you own all this stuff. I see what you're trying to do. You're negotiating with me secretly. I saw it through that.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Chairman,
Yes.
if I can say something here, just so that you would know, I'm also willing to enter the bartering here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll hold you to that.
These taxes.
And I am a pastor as well.
Awesome,
so
awesome.
you and
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
I can't say that. I'll get
Yes.
struck by lightning. No.
Yes. Thank y'all so much.
Sir, thank you for
Thank you.
bearing with
Thank
us
you.
all
Thank you.
afternoon.